Hello guys and welcome back to another Friday and another patrol talk. I'm dripping sweat. I've just finished mowing the front lawn. It is bloody hot. About 34 degrees. Not sure what the humidity is, but it is stinking. Anyway, it's that time of the week again where we get together and we have another chat about all things patrol. So this week we're going to be talking about a couple of little hidden features in the patrol that you people have been asking about. So I will run you through them, which are quite handy and nice quality of life features that some people do not know about. And we're also going to be talking about tyre sizes, as well as tyre ratings and the brands of tyres that you should stay away from. So without further ado, let's kick on with today's patrol talk. Alright. So let's talk about tyres. So first of all, what's like the max tyre size that you can run? So a 35 is a pretty good size tyre to run. You won't run into too many issues with a 35, a true 35 inch tyre. That will be fine on an 18-inch rim. Now there will be a little bit of mud flap massaging that will need to be done. They do need to be cable tied or trimmed down out of the way, and also the inner guard a little bit at the front as well, so when you're on full lock you're not going to scrub out your guards. So a true 35 is probably, as big as you want to go. People have gone to a 305 70 18, which is quite a large tyre. That's obviously quite wide, and again, it really does come down to what you are doing with the car. So if you're just doing just towing or just doing normal day-to-day driving from work or picking kids up from school, that sort of thing, you're not going to want a tyre that's aggressive like the tyres that I have. You're going to want a tyre that has a more road-orientated compound, and something that's going to give you a bit more fuel economy over trying to lug something like that around. Also, you're not going to need a 35-inch tyre for on the road. Of course, it makes the car look a lot more four-wheel drive-ish, a lot more aggressive. It gives the car better stance, and obviously they work really great for off-road driving, but on the road, not really necessary. The biggest you'll probably want to go is a 33, which is perfectly fine for on-road use, and a more on-road orientated tread pattern as well. So the tyres that I have on the patrol at the moment are 33s. Obviously that's not the tyre that I wanted 35s because I'm going to be doing four-wheel driving, so that's what I'll be going for. Although these are a 33, that's just what was on the wheels to when I bought them. So they will be swapped out, but they just don't quite fill the guard as much as what a 35 would. And yeah, the car just looks a little bit strange with small tyres on it since it is such a large car. So you probably want to be looking at a profile around 275, 285, something like that. It is 70, 18, and that'll be enough for anything you need to do on roads. Now the important thing if you're going to be buying another set of tyres, which I would recommend doing from the standard Bridgestone Jewelers, is to make sure that your load rating and speed ratings are correct. Now obviously these cars are quite heavy, about 2.8 tonnes from factory without really anything on them. Full tank of fuel and a loaded up vehicle that's easily over 2.8 tonnes. So having the correct load rating is really important. So not only would the tyre load rating not only reduce your tyre life, it's also quite dangerous. So if you get a load rating that is below what the load of the car is, you can run into really serious issues. So it's quite easy to blow a tyre, to have tyres delaminate, tyres to crack, tyres to bulge, and otherwise have malfunctions that you would not typically see with the correct load rating of a tyre. So that's extremely dangerous to be driving around on the road with a tyre that is not correct for the vehicle. So ensure you do your research before you buy your tyres. Have a look at what modifications you've got on the car, what you plan on doing with it, and then go ahead and either get the car weighed or at least have a very, very good estimate of what you believe the car does weigh. So whether that be, I know my bull bar is 60 kilos, I know one of my wheels weighs 12 kilos, I've got drawers in the back, the fridge is in there all the time, I typically carry 2 to 3 people, I've always got full tank of fuel. Do the calculations and be close enough. When you go to buy your tyres, you know they're going to be right for your job. That's very important. Like I did touch on before, that'll also reduce your tyre life, so you'll wear out tyres very quickly, and that also goes with towing as well. So if you're going to be towing something, perhaps you'll want to bump your load rating up just a little bit, because obviously that ball weight's going to be pushing down on the rear of the vehicle, and that's going to cause your rear tyres to want to wear out more because they have more friction coefficient with the road, because they're obviously pushing down harder, getting warmer, and reducing the tyre life. So that also moves into correct tyre pressures. So if you're going to be towing, you're going to want to bump the tyre pressures up a little bit. Now that's to stop the tyre sidewalls from wanting to bag out onto the road. Really great if you're four-wheel driving, but when you're on the road, that bagging out of the sidewalls can damage sidewalls over time, especially with all that added pressure, and also wear them out very quickly, because obviously you're spreading the width of the tyre over the road, so you're having full contact with the road, which is great, obviously what you want, although that will wear the tyre out quicker. So if you're running around just, fairly stock, you might have some drawers or something in the back, something like that, not too heavy. Anywhere from about 37 to 40 psi is typically pretty good for running around the road and to give you pretty decent fuel economy. Of course, you can bump them tyre pressures up if you need to, if you have a bit more extra weight. Going up to, 42 to 45 psi, probably keep you in a safe range. Obviously, before you go and start pumping air into your tyres, check the maximum psi that your tyres are rated to. And don't just assume that because it says, oh, you can go to 60 or 80 psi, that you're going to pump the tyres up to that much. No. So if your tyres are rated to 50 psi, for example, don't pump them up to 50 psi, because what happens when you start driving the vehicle? The tyres start to warm up, road's hot. What happens when air gets warm? It expands. And all of a sudden, you've now got 53, 54, 55 psi in your tyres. And what's that? You're now over limit of what your tyres are rated to. Now that is a big one for towing. Like I mentioned before, you've got that extra weight on the tyres, putting extra pressure on the tyres, and they're going to heat up quicker because they have more pressure onto the road, bagging them out. That increases the temperature of the tyre very quickly. A couple of tyre brands to stay away from are Nitto and Maxxis. So these are the Nittos I'm running. They are the Ridge Grappler. The trail grapplers are apparently a bit better, but as they start to wear down, they decrease in their tyre life, they do experience issues. So stay away from these. I can personally tell you that they're very annoying to drive with. Unfortunately, these two brands come up more often than not with people experiencing issues. So those include reduced tyre life, vibrations to the steering wheel, and a few other issues here and there. Of course, there's a few others out there that experience issues, so if you've had issues with your tyres, put it down below so other people know about what you've experienced. Now, I have the Nittos on the front, and whilst they are a good tyre, I do experience vibration through the steering wheel at kilometres over 80. So now apparently this is due to the sidewalls, and as the tyre ages and wears down, it creates issues. So that's a bit of a shame, but just like everything on these cars, they are temperamental and they do like certain things. So they are quite fussy, even when it comes to tyres. So make sure you do your research, go through the pages on Facebook, see what other people are running, see if people have had experiences with them where they've caused dramas, because the last thing you want to be doing is driving along on the freeway doing 110 and your steering wheel's just doing this the whole time, and it's very unpleasant. So let's move into the car now, and we'll talk about a few of the features that will make your life a lot easier in the patrol. Alright, so have you ever been driving along, perhaps you're in a rough part of town, and you're like, geez, I wish my doors would automatically lock. so I don't have to continuously keep on pressing the lock button. Well, do I have the solution for you? So to activate the auto lock function on the Patrol, you simply come over to your lock button on the door. Now what you'll do with the car not running, so you'll go to accessories and then you'll go to on, but you'll leave your foot off the brake so the car doesn't start. And then what you'll do is you'll hold the lock button for 5 seconds, and then the indicators or the hazard lights will flash twice in the dash, and that will indicate that your auto lock is now on. So once you reach over 20 kilometers, I think it is, the doors will automatically lock, and they will unlock again automatically when the car is in park and it is turned off. So that's very handy if you want to just be secure inside your car. Perhaps you live in a bit of a dodgy part of town and you want to make sure that nobody's hitching a free ride with you on the way to work. Another handy one is the side view mirrors folding in when the car is turned off. So pretty easy, you come over to your mirror fold button. So if you have it in the center, it does nothing. This one brings the mirrors in, and then obviously all the way to the right brings the mirrors out. So if you leave it in the mirrors out position and we turn the car off, and then if I was to be outside the car and I lock it, you can see my mirrors now fold in. So when you're in them tight car parks, you don't have 200 series ruining your mirrors. Well guys, thank you so much for watching today's video of Patrol Talk. Don't forget, make sure you add in any of your questions, comments below. If you have any questions about these things, I will endeavour to chuck it in the next Patrol Talk so that you guys can have the correct information that you need to your questions. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all these Patrol Talks so you guys have the correct information and we can make the community a lot more knowledgeable, because that's what it's all about. So until next time guys, stay safe out on the tracks and I'll see you at the next video.